Hi everyone. I hope that you are getting along okay during this time of quarantine and social distancing, this new normal that we find ourselves in. I'm talking to you from our guest room, which used to be my son's room, thus all the airplanes behind me. And this is just a quiet space that I like to go and to just be in a different space than normal when I'm working. And so figuring out those kind of rhythms, those kinds of spaces is just such an important time right now and such an important thing to be doing. And so I just want to encourage you. I'm going to be popping on video every now and then to just give you some tips or spiritual formation things that we can walk through together. I might do some Zoom calls, different things like that. And I'm just looking forward to spending some time with you virtually. I miss your faces. I miss being together. I know that this is such a strange time that we all find ourselves in, and I just think it's so important that we're not isolating ourselves and not ever having contact with one another. And so we're going to do our best to make sure that that happens, and I'm excited to just partake in these times with you. And today I was just reading through a poem in this Gorillas of Grace book. You've heard me quote some poems from it on different times when I've hosted on Sunday mornings. And I just wanted to share one with you today and just let it encourage your soul. It's called Sometimes It Just Seems to Be Too Much. Sometimes, Lord, it just seems to be too much. Too much violence, too much fear, too much of demands and problems, too much of broken dreams and broken lives, too much of war and slums and dying, too much of greed and squishy fatness and the sounds of people devouring each other and the earth, too much of stale routines and quarrels, unpaid bills and dead ends, too much of words lobbed in to explode and leaving shredded hearts and lacerated souls, too much of turned away backs and yellow silence, red rage, and the bitter taste of ashes in my mouth. Sometimes the very air seems scorched by threats and rejection and decay until there is nothing but to inhale pain and exhale confusion. Too much of darkness, Lord, too much of cruelty and selfishness and indifference. Too much, Lord, too much, too bloody, bruising, brainwashing much. Or is it too little? Too little of compassion, too little of courage, of daring, of persistence, of sacrifice, too little of music and laughter and celebration. Oh God, make me some nourishment for these starved times, some food for my brothers and sisters who are hungry for gladness and hope, that being bread for them, I may also be fed and be full. And I just loved the way that poem ended, the point of being bread for one another, nourishment for one another. And in these times, that's my prayer for you, that we are nourishment for one another and that we're seeking our daily bread from the Father. And so I just want to encourage you to, I'll put the link for this in the caption with this video so that you could order it if you wanted to during this time. But I just encourage you to find new ways of just feeding your soul during this time and making sure that we're not isolating. And so jump on Facebook every now and then and check out what we have available. And we are going to be Brew City scattered for a little bit now, for a little while. We don't know how long, but let's try our best to stay connected even as we're scattered throughout the city. Thanks, friends. We'll see you tomorrow online.